Hey y'all, Jim Ware from the Rocky Mountain Motorcycle Museum, Colorado crew, Hawk over here, Keith behind the camera, and this is a 1976 Harley-Davidson Liberty Edition FLH. We got this bike through our good friend Steve Klein down in Georgetown, Texas. The owner was Mr. Paul Wade. Now Paul's a Vietnam veteran, and this bike actually belonged to his father, who was a World War II vet. This was about the only thing that his dad ever bought brand new, and he bought this because he wanted to ride it to the East Coast to the bicentennial celebration in Washington, D.C., which is what he did. This bike has a little over 18,000 original miles on it. It had been in storage for a long time, and it had a lot of rust and some real finish issues. All of the aluminum was almost white from being deteriorated. A lot of bad chrome. You can still see a little bit of remnants, which we've left of the rust patina on the bike, but Hawk did a real nice job getting it cleaned up. Of course, all the normal stuff, brake systems had to be all gone through. This left gas tank was horribly rusty on the inside, to the point of having pinholes in the welds. Now, this is an original paint motorcycle. The difference between a Liberty Edition and the regular FLH is the silver metal flake paint job. Now, Keith, if I get you to come and zoom in on the gas tanks and kind of go back and forth, you can see that silver metal flake in the paint. That's what differentiates a Liberty from a standard bike. Now, there's also varying degrees of this metal flake. Some Liberties you see look almost silver because the metal flake is so heavy. Some are much lighter. This is one of the lightest ones I've ever seen. And it really had to do with, as the sheet metal's going down the line and the painter's painting, on this one he was obviously running out of metal flake, but they just run them down and spray them. Typical of AMF, quality control and consistency left something to be desired, but nonetheless, this is an original paint bike. So this left tank, we had to do a lot of work to it, soldering up the pinholes. Now, to repair pinholes in the welds without destroying the paint is a real art, and Hawk did a really great job on it. The other thing was that the original tank emblems were not there. They were the earlier style diamond shape tank emblems like what you would see on a late 60s bike, and these decals were gone. These are the original decals that would have come on the bike and the original emblem which we had to replace. Otherwise, other than really dealing with the rust and the bad chrome, this motorcycle was all intact. Really nice example of a Liberty. These decals on the fairing and this 76 for the bicentennial, that's all original. Again, you see the metal flake paint and the fairing and the front fender. But when you look at things like this front brake caliper, you know, you never see these that aren't just completely destroyed. This is like brand new, but then you can see the finish damage and on the rims and on the rotor. But that's all good. That just shows that it's an original bike. The other real tell on the Liberty is back here on the tour pack, which this was missing, but we managed to find one, is the Liberty Edition decal. The other kind of cool thing that we came up with was the license plate and the inspection tag. So in '76 in Texas, which is where this bike came from, this was the last of the embossed plates, and this is actually a 1975 license plate. However, prior to '75, you got a brand new license plate every year. And then, due to economics and so forth, they went to putting a sticker. So this was the very beginning of same plate registration sticker every year when you paid your dues to the state at the DMV. So we got a 76 tag on a 1975 embossed plate, and what's really cool is in Texas you had to have the vehicle inspected, so you got this separate inspection sticker, and this is 1976 inspection sticker, which had to be displayed on all vehicles, two-wheel, four-wheel, whatever, and this showed that the vehicle was safe and roadworthy, and was another way for the state to collect a little money from anybody who owned a vehicle. So these little detail things are just kind of cool and lend themselves to the authenticity of the bike. So, you know, this is a typical Harley dresser of the era, and most of them are all the same. What makes this special is that it's the Liberty Edition with the decals and the special paint job. All right, so let's hear it run. So there you have it, 1976 Harley-Davidson Liberty Edition FLH. We want to thank everybody that chipped in on this project and help us get this back to its original form. If you're ever through Colorado Springs, stop and see our museum. It's located upstairs in the local Harley dealership at 5867 North Nevada Avenue. And you all have a fantastic day, and thanks for watching.